I think it's now how do we raise awareness strictly for Pat, not to take away from the other many ALS patients, but Pat's in bad shape. And if you watch the interview I did with Mike Demergis 2 years ago, where Pat is now, we need to create a sense of urgency. So I have several things I'm working on, but it's no longer to the point where it's great to do a few fundraisers, but we got to start putting 50, 100K, towards this young man who's done so much and is still fighting and just the greatest guy in the world. So that's where I'm at.
As you know, Pete Kelly brought to our attention that Pat, was diagnosed with ALS, and the rugby community is very there's the brotherhood. So we all got together and said, let's raise some money for Pat. We ran a big bowling event, got a lot of silent auctions, brought a lot of outside people. Pete Rose was there, and Rudy from Notre Dame. Yeah, it was pretty sick. And so, most of the, you got to raise some money for the guy, but mostly we do these things just to distract him from the horrible disease that he's been ailed with. And he likes coming out. He loves coming out and seeing the guys. And overall, it was a great event.
Well, first of all, we're rugby is a community, and Iona is New Rochelle, and White Plains is here. And so we have several guys, many guys who have come out over the years and played with us. So guys are old boys, guys I played with when I was, in my prime, and guys who are still playing with the club. So we have a connection from kind of that history, and then Pat Quinn is also an Iona rugby guy, and so he's got connected with some of our alums and his story, which is a very, very compelling story. Kind of helps just makes us remember why we care about each other as rugby players, and these programs, kind of what it's about. So it's about great rugby, which is out behind the cameraman and getting together and kind of fighting it out. But then it's also about taking care of people we care about.
Well, I definitely think that in the ALS part, Pat Quinn started the Ice Bucket Challenge, and he's an Iona alumnus, and I think that's pretty important. Also, probably the most famous ALS patient of all time is Lou Gehrig, former Yankee, and I think that it's just a New York thing. It's something where most of the awareness of the disease, it's actually named Lou Gehrig's disease, that is based out of New York, and Pat's a very important part of our Iona community. He was one of the Man of the Years in I think it was Brother Edmund Rice Award a few years ago, and the amount of work that he's done, and especially under the circumstances and the amount of travel that he's done and raised so much money and awareness for the disease is outstanding, and we have to support him. And as an Iona rugby alumnus, we have to even further support him, more so than possibly the rest of the community, which has been absolutely fantastic.
Pat's one of our alumni. He played Iona rugby as well, so he is family to us. So anything we could do to help the cause is the least we could do.
Yeah, it's just been such a great movement, and the fact that we can say we've had such a positive influence in the whole worldwide ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. It's really proud of Iona College Rugby. We're really proud of Pat Quinn for how brave he's been, and we're really happy to be here for him.